The air on the 42nd floor of the Vanguard Financial Group headquarters always smelled faintly of expensive mahogany and unearned confidence. Ryan Carter stood by the floor-to-ceiling windows, watching the morning fog roll over the city skyline, adjusting the cuffs of his tailored but slightly worn suit. For 10 years, this building had been his second home. For the last 3, it had practically been his primary residence. As a single father, every late night, every missed weekend, and every skipped dinner had been a calculated sacrifice. He had poured his soul into Vanguard, securing the top sales spot 3 years running, single-handedly bringing in 40% of the firm's annual revenue. Today was the day it was supposed to pay off. The senior vice president of global sales position was vacant, and Ryan was the only logical choice. "He's ready for you, Ryan," the executive assistant said, offering a tight, almost sympathetic smile. Ryan nodded, exhaling a breath he felt like he'd been holding for a decade. He walked into the expansive corner office of Chairman Arthur Pendleton. Arthur sat behind a massive desk, his silver hair perfectly coiffed. Next to him, lounging in a leather chair and scrolling through her phone, was Chloe Pendleton, Arthur's 24-year-old daughter. She wore a designer outfit that cost more than Ryan's monthly mortgage payment and looked profoundly bored. "Ryan, come in. Sit down," Arthur said, his voice booming with artificial warmth. "Thank you, Mr. Pendleton," Ryan said, taking a seat across from them. "Good morning, Chloe." Chloe didn't look up from her screen. "Hey," Arthur cleared his throat, leaning forward. "Ryan, I'll get straight to the point. Your performance over the last few years has been exemplary. Truly. You've anchored our sales division, and the board has noticed." Ryan felt a surge of pride. "This is it. Thank you, sir. I've put everything I have into this company. I'm ready to lead the team to the next level." "And that's exactly what I want to talk about," Arthur said, his smile faltering slightly, transitioning into the smooth, practiced grimace of a corporate executioner. "The company is pivoting. We need a fresh, modern perspective for the SVP role. Someone who understands the new generation of clientele, social media branding, and modern corporate culture." Ryan's stomach dropped. A cold prickle of dread washed over him. "Sir?" "We've decided to appoint Chloe as the new senior vice president of global sales," Arthur announced, gesturing to his daughter as if presenting a prized thoroughbred. Chloe finally looked up, giving a vapid, practiced smile. "I'm really excited to bring a totally new vibe to the team. We're going to do so much synergy." Ryan sat frozen. For a moment he thought it was a joke. A cruel, horribly misplaced joke. "Mr. Pendleton, with all due respect, Chloe graduated from college 18 months ago. She's been an assistant marketing coordinator for less than a year. She has never closed a single major account. She has never managed a budget, let alone a global sales team." Arthur's face hardened instantly. The faux warmth vanished. "Careful, Ryan. Chloe has an instinct for leadership that can't be taught. She represents the future of Vanguard. Your job will be to support her, run the day-to-day ground operations, and ensure her transition is seamless. You'll keep your current title, of course." "You want me to do her job for her," Ryan said flatly. The truth hung in the air, heavy and ugly. "You want my numbers, my expertise, and my relationships to prop up her title." "It's called teamwork, Ryan," Chloe chimed in, her tone dripping with condescension. "And honestly, the sales department is a bit old school. We need to focus on digital footprints, not just whining and dining clients. I'm sure you can learn a lot from me if you keep an open mind." Ryan looked at Chloe, then at Arthur. He thought of his 8-year-old daughter, Lily. He thought of the promises he made her every time he had to work late, telling her that Daddy was building a secure future for them. He thought of the integrity he tried to teach her every single day. If I accept this, Ryan realized, I am telling my daughter that hard work doesn't matter. That nepotism wins. That I'm willing to let people walk all over me. A profound, absolute calm washed over him. The anxiety that had plagued him for weeks evaporated, replaced by an unbreakable clarity. Ryan reached into his breast pocket. He drew out a sleek silver fountain pen, the one Vanguard had given him for his 5-year anniversary, and a clean sheet of paper from his notepad. In neat, precise handwriting, he wrote a single sentence. He slid the paper across the mahogany desk. Arthur looked down. "What is this?" "My resignation." "Effective immediately," Ryan said softly. Arthur laughed, a dry, dismissive sound. "Don't be dramatic, Ryan. You're emotional." Go take a walk, cool off. You have a mortgage. You're a single dad. You can't afford to just walk away from a six-figure salary and your bonuses. Ryan stood up, buttoning his jacket. He looked Arthur dead in the eye. You're right, Mr. Pendleton. I am a single dad, and because of that, I can't afford to teach my daughter that her father has no self-respect. Keep the bonuses. You're going to need them to cover the losses. Chloe rolled her eyes. Let him go, Dad. If he's going to be toxic, we don't need him anyway. I can totally handle his accounts. Ryan smiled, a genuine, relaxed smile that Vanguard hadn't seen on his face in years. Good luck, Chloe, you'll need it. Without another word, Ryan turned and walked out of the office. He didn't pack his desk. He didn't say goodbye to his colleagues. He walked straight to the elevator, rode it down to the lobby, and stepped out into the crisp morning air. For the first time in 10 years, he felt like he could breathe. 3 years later, the boardroom of Apex Horizons sat on the top floor of a sleek, eco-friendly glass tower on the opposite side of the city. Sunlight flooded the room, illuminating a massive white marble conference table. Ryan Carter sat at the head of that table. He looked younger than he had 3 years ago. The stress lines around his eyes were gone, replaced by the sharp, confident gaze of a man who owned his destiny. When Ryan had walked out of Vanguard, he hadn't panicked. He had taken his life savings, rented a tiny, windowless 2-room office, and founded Apex Horizons. He didn't steal Vanguard's clients, he didn't need to. He simply offered what Vanguard had stopped providing: transparency, relentless work ethic, and actual merit-driven solutions. Within 6 months, his old clients had found him anyway. They didn't want to deal with Vanguard's new digital footprint strategy. They wanted Ryan. Within 2 years, Apex Horizons had poached the top talent from across the region. Today, Apex was the fastest-growing financial consulting and sales firm in the country. His intercom buzzed. Mr. Carter, your 11 a.m. appointment is here. They're waiting in the main reception. Ryan smiled faintly. Thank you, Sarah. Please give them 5 minutes, then bring them in. Ryan picked up a folder on his desk. Inside were the financial reports for Vanguard Financial Group. It was a bloodbath. In 3 years under Chloe's leadership, Vanguard had lost 60% of its market share. Their top clients had defected, their talent had fled, and their stock price had plummeted into the abyss. The door to the boardroom opened. Sarah escorted 2 people into the room. Arthur Pendleton looked broken. His silver hair was unkempt, his posture defeated, and his suit hung loosely on a frame that seemed to have shrunk under the weight of impending ruin. Behind him walked Chloe. The arrogance was completely gone, replaced by a nervous, twitching anxiety. She wouldn't look Ryan in the eye. Ryan, Arthur said, his voice cracking slightly. He extended a trembling hand. Thank you for seeing us. Ryan stood up, shaking Arthur's hand firmly, then nodded to Chloe. Mr. Pendleton, Chloe, please take a seat. They sat across from him, the exact inverse of their meeting 3 years prior. You have a beautiful facility here, Ryan, Arthur said, looking around the state-of-the-art boardroom. Incredible growth. The whole industry is talking about Apex. We focus on hard work and merit here, Arthur. It yields results, Ryan replied evenly, keeping his tone professional, devoid of malice but stripped of warmth. Now, your email mentioned an urgent matter of mutual interest. What can I do for you? Arthur swallowed hard, glancing at his daughter, who kept her eyes glued to the marble table. Vanguard is in trouble, Ryan, Arthur confessed, dropping all corporate pretense. Severe trouble. When you left, we underestimated your impact. The transition didn't go as planned. I thought Chloe had a totally new vibe for the team, Ryan said mildly, leaning back in his chair. Chloe flinched. Arthur closed his eyes for a brief second. I made a mistake, Ryan, Arthur whispered. A catastrophic mistake. I let pride and nepotism blind me. Chloe tried, but she wasn't ready. The clients didn't trust her. The sales team revolted. We lost the Harrison account, the Sterling Group, the Vanguard legacy funds. They all left. Most of them came to you. They came to Apex because we treat them with respect and deliver results, Ryan said. I know, Arthur said desperately, and that's why we're here. Vanguard is facing bankruptcy by the end of the quarter. The board is prepared to oust me. We are begging you, Ryan. We want to offer you the position of CEO of Vanguard Financial Group. We will give you a blank check, full operational control, and a massive equity stake. Just come back and save us." Ryan looked at the man who had once held his career in his hands. He looked at the girl who had mocked his life's work. He felt no anger, no smug satisfaction. He only felt a profound sense of gratitude for the day he decided to walk away. "Arthur," Ryan said softly, closing the folder in front of him. 3 years ago, I told you that I couldn't afford to teach my daughter that her father had no self-respect. If I accepted your offer today, I would be teaching her that it's okay to clean up the messes of the people who disrespected you, just because they finally realize your value." Arthur's face went pale. "Ryan, please. We're talking about the company you spent 10 years building." "No," Ryan corrected him firmly. "I spent 10 years building your company. For the last 3 years, I've been building my own. My loyalty is to my people, my clients, and my family, not to a ghost." Ryan stood up, signaling the end of the meeting. "I won't be taking the CEO position, Arthur, but because I still respect the memory of what Vanguard used to be, my acquisition team will contact your board tomorrow morning. Apex Horizons is prepared to buy Vanguard's remaining assets for 20 cents on the dollar. We will absorb your remaining staff and we will protect their jobs." Arthur looked up, tears welling in his eyes. He realized the harsh absolute reality. He hadn't just lost a top seller 3 years ago. He had handed his entire kingdom to the man he discarded. "And Chloe?" Arthur asked, his voice barely a whisper. Ryan looked at the young woman. "Apex has a strict hiring policy, Arthur. We only hire based on merit. If Chloe wants a job, she can submit her resume to our entry-level internship program. She'll start in the mailroom just like everyone else." Chloe bit her lip, a single tear slipping down her cheek, but she didn't argue. She couldn't. "Thank you for your time," Ryan said courteously. As Sarah escorted the ruined executives out of the boardroom, Ryan's phone buzzed on the table. It was a FaceTime call. He answered it immediately, and the bright, smiling face of his 11-year-old daughter filled the screen. "Hey, Daddy, are you coming to my soccer game tonight?" Lily asked excitedly. Ryan smiled, a warmth filling his chest that no corporate title or acquisition could ever provide. "I wouldn't miss it for the world, sweetie. I'm leaving the office right now. Yay. See you soon, I love you." "Love you too, Lil." Ryan hung up the phone, picked up his briefcase, and walked out of the boardroom. He didn't look back. He had bet on himself, and he had won.